Good morning. It's probably about, it's 8:40 and I just finished making my cup of coffee for the day. I have a class that starts in about 20 minutes, my Hawk Academy class, which is my small group class. And more than likely with this group, we're gonna look over their Google Slides presentation that they turned in for the activist project, those that did it, and then those that didn't, we're gonna find out why and see if we can get that done. As far as last night, I didn't do any form of exercise. I didn't go walking. I didn't do a quick little light ride on the bike. I didn't do any sit-ups. I've officially decided to let go of the goal of closing all my rings every day for as long as I can, because when I did do that, it felt very stressful on some days, and it was just one more thing for me to worry about, one more piece of anxiety to have. So I am choosing to not welcome that anxiety back into my life, because I don't need another thing to be worried or anxious about. So I ended up not doing that. I did not grade the writing that I wanted to, and I didn't even start grading the Google slide for my other class. Like, I just couldn't, you guys. I was just so tired. By the time I got everything set up for today and made sure yesterday's footage was edited and uploaded, I was too tired, and I knew I wouldn't be good at grading it in that particular state. So I didn't do that, and I'm cutting my, like, just had to tell myself it's okay. Like, it's okay if you don't get it done. So I will be working on that today. But I'm picking up the camera now because today it's going to be a busy day. I have class until 2:20, and then I have a union meeting right after that, and those can take pretty long, especially with everything that's going on with COVID and people just needing to vent. And then I have to cook. So I don't know how much talking I'll do in between, because in the middle of all that, my goal is still to continue to work on getting those things graded. So I wanted to make sure I said good morning at least. I just, like I said, made my cup of coffee. Today's coffee mug, not that anyone asked, is this. It's official, you're awesome. I got that from Target. I like this mug. It's very similar to this mug, and the shape of these two mugs is just really nice. Like, I have plenty of room to put coffee in there and not have it to the brim. Plus, I needed that little pick-me-up this morning. Plus, it matched my shirt. And yes, I'm the person that, if I can, I'll just have my coffee cup match my outfit. It makes me feel special, more accomplished, more put together. So I'm just putting the meat that I defrosted overnight in the refrigerator. Tonight I'm having cavatappi pasta and pork ragu. It's a nice quick recipe, 15 to 25 minutes. So that's something else I have to do today. And then in between, my mom might be stopping by because my dad is having a follow-up doctor's appointment in the area, and she cannot go in there with him. So she's just going to stay at my place while she waits. So I'm gonna go upstairs right now, get ready to start the day, and if there's a moment in between where I can pick up the camera, well, I will, because I wanted to show you the rubric. There was something I wanted to show you. I'll pick up the camera at some point before the day is up, but I'm just not sure when that is, so I'll see you when I see you. It's 1 o'clock, and my next and final class starts at 1:20, so I have about 20 minutes. I had just enough time to get everything I wanted to get done with my first class. It really was just like a housekeeping day. We had to take a district survey. They took it, but I had to like read the questions to them and make sure they understood the questions and had them answer them. Then I played for them a like tutorial video on how to use Flipgrid, so that from a student's perspective, because they're going to be doing the next portion of their project, which is recording their speech using Flipgrid. I used Flipgrid, or I should say I tried to use Flipgrid once last year before school was closed down, and I just had such issues with it. I'm not sure why to this day, that I never used it again. So this was like my first time endeavoring to use Flipgrid. And so I just wanted them to see the video so they can see all the features available. And then I gave them just like a very casual little assignment on there just for them to practice recording, identifying where all the buttons were, playing around with the features. And I just asked them to answer the question, what would they do? What is the one thing they're looking forward to doing when COVID is over or when life goes back to normal? So I gave them a total of 7 minutes to play around and get it recorded. And just, I'm gonna give them credit for doing that. It seemed like it was pretty easy for them. The couple of students that had some tech issues, they figured it out, or I figured it out for them. And then we watched a crash course video on the Holocaust to get us ready for the next selection and study sync, which is Diary of Anne Frank. So I want them to kind of have a fairly decent understanding of what the Holocaust was and what it was about. So we just finished watching that and we had like 2 minutes to spare. So I'm going to eat a snack right now because I'm hungry. I'm not going to eat lunch because I'm not going to be able to eat my salad in 20 minutes. But I am probably going to eat a snack because I'm starving. But I wanted to show you the rubric that I made on Google Classroom for the slides presentation. So this is the rubric that I made. It is super simple. It's basically like a yes or no situation. It's 15 points in total, but in my grade book, it will be scaled at 100 points and weighted as a project. Projects and quizzes and tests have heavier weights in Aries for us, basically. And so it's been pretty helpful. It's made things go by relatively quickly. The annoying part was having to create all of this and put all of this in there. But the nice thing about using the rubrics feature on Google Classroom is once it's made and it's saved. So you can recopy it, you can use it again. So when I do this project next year, I believe that I will do it next year with some tweaks that need to be made. The rubric will already be made. And every time I use rubrics, it's just so nice to have like reasons for the grade. So like when a student says, why did I lose a point here? Why am I missing that? You could say, well, you were missing the slide where you were supposed to define what activism is. And that's the other surprising thing. Like they literally had this provided for them. Like I gave them this. And again, this came from Caffeinate and Educate. Like this is all a part of her project, and this handout that I attached to the assignment literally tells them what slides to make. And I gave it to them and I reiterated multiple times, you got to make sure that you have answered each of those questions in your presentation in order to get full credit. And you would be surprised as to how many students just have totally different pieces of information or just didn't answer one whole section altogether, despite the fact that they had like the directions there. So I talked to the class today and kind of said, guys, the directions are there. They're there for a reason. You're too old to not be reading directions and following directions, especially with a project. So I can't really sympathize too much with you on that. So I started grading the ones for my switch class. I've only gotten one done, and there's a lot of copying and pasting on that particular project. So there's been a couple of students where in the comment on the slide, I let them know that I know exactly where they got that from and told them that. And I'm being nice and giving them like a half a point for having the information present, but not giving them full credit because it's not in their own words, because I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt that maybe they didn't know that it has to be in their own words. Although I'm pretty sure they did. So that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna eat the snack. I'm gonna have my switch class, and then I'm gonna transition into my union meeting. And I will more than likely check in with you when all of that is done. So I will see you in a few hours.
We now have a new plan, which is a California State School for All plan. There are 7 major school districts that are against this Safe Schools for All plan. Because they said it's nearly impossible for it to roll out the way that it's being proposed. Those 7 are San Francisco Unified, San Diego Unified, Oakland Unified, Sacramento Unified, Fresno Unified, Long Beach Unified, and I cannot read the other one. It's too small a print. So I believe it's LA. I'm pretty sure. Hold on. Yeah, it's Los Angeles Unified.
This lighting is horrible. A few times almost just cried because I'm just so over it all, and I feel like I've said that every day for the past 2 days, but it's true. So it is 7:07, and I'm finally at a place where I feel like I can leave this office that always starts off so nicely and then ends looking like this. Speaking of which, this popcorn from Trader Joe's is really good. Just stuff is everywhere. Like, I'm sure some of you don't feel like this is a mess, but it's just a mess to me. that I finally feel like I'm at the point where I can go downstairs and cook. Luckily, it's a very quick meal. It should take 15 to 25 minutes. So I'm gonna go downstairs and cook and then come upstairs, take a shower so that I can just eat and relax. But I'm so frustrated at this point. First, let's celebrate. I got through the union meeting, that was finished, and I finished grading all the Google Slides for both classes for the activist project. So I was able to check that off my list, and then tomorrow on my list of things to do that I just put in my planner, I'm going to work on the written responses from the Study Sync assignment. And I think when I have like a mental list of things to do, or even when I write it down, I need to be more realistic so that I'm not overwhelming myself. Because for me to think that I was gonna grade, you know, 2 classes worth of Google slide presentations and then 2 classes worth of written responses to something that we've read as a class, which is unrealistic. I don't know who I thought I was and how much time I thought there was in a day, but I was mistaken. So I'm gonna work on that tomorrow. So that's the good news. Like, I definitely got everything that I wanted to get done. The thing that was just frustrating is I was getting everything ready for tomorrow, like my slides, making sure my attendance links are there. And we have to start giving interim assessments this week, which just bothered me because I just don't think that this is a year that we need any sort of district-wide, statewide assessment. It just doesn't make any kind of sense. But here we are having to do it, and having to do it virtually, and there's all these workarounds and like making sure students know how to access their IDs, but then like they have to go to this website that's gonna mimic another website, and then this link is not working, and then that link needs to be fixed, and then do I remember my password for the testing interface that I only use so many times a year, and just the amount of time I just spent clicking around looking for things is what really wore my patience thin. But everything is fixed now and ready. So that is good. So I'm going to go ahead and close the vlog here. I'm just gonna clean up this area, go downstairs, cook this meal, and then I'm gonna eat and just watch some TV, relax, read before I go to bed, all of that good stuff. If you enjoyed the vlog, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, I'm sorry. Sorry if you didn't enjoy it. I don't know why I just said that. If you didn't, my apologies. Maybe you'll enjoy the next one. If you're not subscribed, make sure you do that. If you're not following me on Instagram, make sure you are doing that over there. And I want you to stay well. And if you're not well, be well. And I will talk to you tomorrow. Good night, everybody.